Okay, we are live. Oh, and in a miraculous turn of events, my microphone is actually ready and working when I first start streaming, which is not my usual opening to a stream. It's usually like screwing up with the audio and having to redo things. Hey Zero, how's it going? Um, oh, actually, just give me one sec. I have no water. I'm not gonna talk for hours without filling up my water. Be right back. And I'm back. Oh, different scene. That's alright. This is a good scene. This is one we'll be using. When did XP become a thing for streams? I don't know, actually. I've never seen it before on my YouTube thing. But I feel like whatchamacallit, YouTube has been trying to copy Twitch's homework for quite some time now. So this must be a part of that. Okay. So what do we got for today? This evening, the plan is to continue some of the stuff that I was doing in Godot. Um, I'll also have some funny random stuff to talk about. I um I bought a what I would consider a very frivolous purchase. It was probably cost a lot more money than I should have spent on it, but I did it for fun anyway. And just switching to the big camera, I bought one of these. It's an Azeron gamepad thing, and you can see how the keys are all really curved, so it's like a super ergonomic kind of thing. And it kind of works like this. Has a thumbstick on the side and a little switch thing. I wonder if that's typing somewhere. Anyway, um, and this is like really kind of like really easy to reach lots more keys than normal because of the way that it's curved. So this is my new toy for playing games with. Um, I've been playing a bit of Darktide, the first person shooter that I've been playing a lot of with it, and that's been pretty fun so far. Oh, did I get that from tax return? No, I didn't. I actually just bought it. Um, Although there's a bit of okay, this is other news that I haven't actually said on stream either. Is I have moved into a new job, so there is like I have left my current job, and I haven't actually started the next one yet. But like sometimes people do that kind of thing where like when they go into a new job, they burn the first paycheck of a new job on something fun for themselves. Um, this is not the first time I've jumped the gun and spent money before I've made it. But you know, that's it's just kind of a toy I'd wanted for a while anyway, because it's like just a highly ergonomic gaming specific device. So yeah, that's one thing I've been playing around with. What else have I been doing recently? Oh, I've also been building this super old model kit that I've got over here. Gamera. If you know, Gamera is the like I don't know if you'd call them the second most famous kaiju in Japan. Apart from like, but I actually think all the other kaiju in the Godzilla kind of pantheon are probably even more popular than Gamera. But like, I'll show you some bits and pieces. So there's like a shell and a body, and there's a funny head. And I haven't glued it all together yet because I need to decide what pose it goes in, and then glue it all together, and then I'm gonna paint it, and stuff like that. So we shall see. We shall see. Um, The other thing that happens to model kits when I'm halfway through building them is they sit on my desk and they stay there for like 2-3 months before they eventually get painted. Everything, actually, no, that's a lie. I was about to say everything gets finished, but that's not true. Some things get finished, some things don't. But we'll see. We'll see about that one. I do have ideas for it. Yeah, it's some kind of tortoise turtle gigantic monster thing. So it's like a tortoise that's the size of a Godzilla. And there's a whole series of movies. There's like, I don't know, like 8 movies that were made of it and something. So it's like, there's a lot of fun. Every now and then I go back and watch the movies because they're just kind of, there's this hilarious thing about watching this stuff from like the 60s and 70s and stuff, which is just sort of, um, that massive era. I think they call it tokusatsu. Is that era of people in suits destroying cardboard cities and stuff, and just the amazing amount of kind of work and effort they put into those things. I love it. Super exciting. Um, Zero, oh, you thought it was the tax return. You thought you were getting a big tax return, and then Hex and Medicare surcharge came for it all. Oh no. That's I mean, look, let's take the good with the bad. On the one hand, yes, you didn't get much of a tax return. On the other hand, if you're making enough money to be paying off Hex, then you're in a good place, right? So you should be in a positive financial position because you've made enough money that they're charging you Hex. So maybe it's okay. Maybe it's good. Okay, okay. So let me show. I actually don't know who is here from last week, but let me show where I was up to last week. Where's my... I don't actually even have Godot here. Zero saying, yeah, lucky enough to live in a country that has a system like Hex and Medicare. Yeah, totally. Global situation at the moment is showing that some countries have a lot of different issues. Okay, what did I call it? Coding interface? That is a strange name, but it's the most recent project I've got here, which means maybe this is the one. That's a strange name. It's funny when you go back and look over your own work and you're just like, why did I call it this? Oh, it is. Oh, it's because it's the interface, the yeah, for interpreting this code. Ooh, I have errors. That's awkward. Let me see if this thing runs. Nope. Oh. I had started thinking about a function to pick this stuff up, but maybe I should just get rid of this. Ooh. Wait, that's this one? That's so funny. This one was open and so it wouldn't let me save it, and I just instinctively pressed Control S. Oh no, it's because it was running. It's because it was running. Okay, let's save again. Let's try run project. Oh, that's weird. I had done more stuff. Okay. Let me do the other thing that we can do, where we just call this a pass. And if that function gets called, then nothing happens. I keep forgetting to stop running things. Okay, so save that. Run the project. Lots of tiny syntax errors here. Okay. So what I had was, this is chicken, and there's only a certain kind of set of commands at the moment. It says go left, go right, go right, go right, go left. I think I only had go left and right last time, but the trick was I had this interface where you could put instructions in. I had the parsing done to read the instructions, and then this kind of animation thing that would move chicken based on these commands. Um, I'm probably not going to be using commands like this because go left and go right make no sense from a programming standpoint. If I'm teaching people how to code, it's not go left and right. It's actually like go to a position. So if we're thinking about memory being an array, you go to a position in an array, you grab some information, and then you put it somewhere else, which is why we have this pickup. So I don't know if I want to continue this pickup right now. So this is where I am, where I have the ability to read text, and move chicken around. And that was just like a proof of concept. And what we would be doing in that is stuff like this, where the first word is a command, and then based on the command, you would then take the next word and you would then call another function to do something else. What I wanted to do was create a kind of a world. So here I had things where what I wanted to do was instead of, so where we're at now, we can read the code text and execute movement commands using an animation delay so that there's not a specific whatchamacallit, not everything is like not happening in a millisecond, so you can actually see the commands as they're executed. Because I think when you're learning how to code, if you can visually see it, you can kind of debug things more easily. I think, oh, you know what I want to do? I'm going to start another. So what are we at? 28th. So we got this. I have an idea of when you are... Wait, where's the window? Here. When you're running this, it's nice to know which instruction is actually running at the time. So I want to make it highlight the line that it's executing as it executes that line. That would be nice. Let me figure out how to do that. Okay. So the things in the scene, how do I get a, because I don't think that's, is that everything? Oops. I'm trying to figure out how I get a list of the things that are currently in the scene. And it's not here. Oh, here we go. Root, control, code edit, and chicken. Yeah, so chicken is the sprite. Code edit is the window with the text. And control is the script that sort of controls it all. So what I want to do is take this code edit item and highlight certain lines on it. I wonder how I would do that. Oh, you know what? I'm going to do the same thing I did last time. Getting into this idea that I'm happy to ask AI to do stuff like API searching for me. So I have a code edit scene in Godot. I'd like to highlight lines lines of text in this one at a time. See if it knows how to do that. Highlight, you can use the set line background color. Okay, cool, that's a method. So highlight color, pick a color, variable, and then set a current line. Cool. All right. So I only want bits of this, but where is my script? I think that's my script. No. GD. Yeah, GD script. Okay, so when play is pressed, we go through the lines and we process the line and then we await the next line. So what we would do is we would highlight the line here and then unhighlight the line here. So it gets highlighted before it starts processing. When it's finished processing, wait. After it's finished processing, then we unhighlight it. So where do I want the variable for the highlight color? It kind of can be in here, or I want to like, this is a weird thing about these like kind of global variables. Do I put them all up the top so I can see them all easily and work on them? Actually, these aren't. These are just connections to other things. I think I'll just put the variable in here because it doesn't really need to be used anywhere else. I'm speaking Australian rather than American. You know, like the funny thing about spelling color? Like this is like if you do enough like OpenGL and stuff like that, color is always the American spelling, and so you end up like doing things wrong a lot. So they're saying, do you get a pointer when you create an object? You don't necessarily, but you get these kinds of things where you can reference to other objects, and I think there was a keyword that allowed you to I don't know what this is. Let's get rid of that. I hope that wasn't. There was a way that you can in the inspector see things. So control, because of these, I think, maybe because of that, I can't remember. You can actually link objects, or maybe not. Maybe these are sub objects of it. So code edit and chicken and the play button and stuff are sub objects. But there was a way in the script that you could open something like this. You go chicken target. Where is that? Maybe it's here. No. The chicken script has basically nothing in it. But yeah, there was a way to say oh, here we go. Variable chicken nugget. Chicken nugget. Chicken target is null, not chicken nugget. Chicken target. Anyway, there was a way to do this, and then instead of having a pointer there, you could actually in the inspector of the object, you could assign an object here. So this is the sprite 2D, which is chicken. And so you could link them together, and you could do these if they're the children of the object. So control has code edit and chicken as the children. So the code edit is the $sign and then the name of the object. So it can find the object even without a pointer to it. And then the play button was $sign and then this, oh, don't drag that. I'm gonna like modify it. And then the slash meant an object within that. So if I open this arrow, code edit has its scroll bars. It has a bunch of timers. Did I make them? I'm not sure. Maybe I did make them when I made these tweening animations, but it has a play and reset button. So the play button is actually, you go down one level to code edit and then another level down to play. And so that links it to this. So we don't explicitly use pointers to objects, but we can access them anyway. It's more like a relative reference than a pointer. So it's not a memory address, but it's like if everything is in this tree structure, then you can find other things. And it also gives you kind of a nice level of control in that this thing can only access things that are in its subtree, which is everything. But for example, code edit can't the text window that holds the code can't directly access the sprite that controls chicken. So the control thing here is going to read the code from here and then access chicken and then move chicken around and stuff. So it's this kind of thing where you only get a what's it? You only get access to things if they're the children of yourself in the hierarchy. So you can't. It's kind of a bit of encapsulation. I'm unsure of the colon equals here. I don't know if this is in GD script, although it seems to be. I don't remember needing a colon equals to instantiate a variable. Oh, see, I've already come up to the issue immediately that I'm spelling color in a Australian English, and then that color isn't, which is going to be a problem. So I'm just going to go with what the language uses. Okay, so if we want to highlight something, let's highlight it in what is it? The text is white, isn't it? Oh, I'm still running. Text is white, so I do want it to be mildly dark. I was actually just going to do a yellow, which is like 1, 1, 0. Can we do it without alpha? Oh, actually, we do want it with alpha because we want it, say half alpha. That's exactly what it has here. That's so funny. I could have just copy pasted it, but I went through a whole logical process to do it instead. Oh, well, I got to the same number as there. So if we want to highlight this, we have to go to code edit. Yeah, that's the variable for that object. Set line background color. I guess, let's see. Set line background color. Sweet. And the line is an integer. Oh, these are not integers. Lines is an array of strings. So I need this to be iterating over integers rather than strings. Yeah, I guess so. Oh, this is so funny. How do you do a for loop over a line, over integers in GD script? I can't even remember. What's the syntax? I'll just ask. I think it's Python, but I don't remember that off by heart either. So for I in range, okay, cool. This will be from 0 to lines dot size. That's not auto completing anything. In GD script, how do you find the length of an array? Are they even called arrays? This shows how rusty I am. It is dot length. Dot size or dot length. Okay. That's where I was headed. But when it stopped auto-completing, I was worried. Okay, so in the range between 0 and its size, I think I'm going to want size -1 here. Yeah. Highlight color is this. Set the background color to line 1 to highlight color. Question I have now is how do I remove that? Okay, we're processing line on lines I now instead of the line in lines. Okay. Now I need to unhighlight that. Let's just see if this works though. Is that saved? Interesting. I've broken something. Oh, and my reset button doesn't do anything either. So it's only going left and then it's highlighting go right. Very, very awkward. And here it's just saying left. Let me check that again. Okay, so it's left and then right. It goes left and then highlights right. So, what's going wrong here? Okay, it says left, which it will only do if it gets into the movement part of it. So, movement part means it has come into process line and it has said go, and then it's moved the other word, so it moved left. So, go left has run, and it's done its thingy. And then for some reason, oh. Oh my god. Put a 1 in there instead of I. Okay. That's so funny. They were saying you went to a conference recently. One of the speakers was on using machine learning, and the presenter said at the end that he thinks people should consider using AI for coding, etc. Crowd was unhappy. I feel like there's this thing where you get this back and forth, right? Because like a lot of the time it's like you should be able to code yourself. And if you only use AI to code, then you end up in this weird situation where you don't actually know what your code is doing. So there's a part of me which is like there's a level that I'm happy with, which is sort of like if I don't know a particular language and I forget syntax, so even something simple like this is not the syntax for a for loop that I know well. And so because it's not the syntax I know well, I know exactly what I want it to do, but I can't remember exactly what to type in. So there, I'm just gonna ask the AI, because it's like looking up API documents and things like that. And it's like, I know what I want to do. Give me the function that does it. I'll write the code myself. So there's this back and forth. Whereas if I just said, I described what this function was supposed to do and said, just do the whole thing for me, and then copy pasted blindly what was happening into here, I think that's riskier. Because if you hadn't looked at it and you don't understand it, then what's it actually going to do? So that's one perspective, and on the other perspective, allowing people to code who don't know how to code is kind of a great thing. So giving people a chance to have their computer do stuff that they want it to do is really nice without needing to spend like we're talking 3-year degrees before you can do it. So it's a really tough thing, and I think as code generation gets better, the the end goal, the super end goal, is that no one codes anymore. Instead of coding, you explain to your computer what you want done, and then you go back and forth in a conversation about what you need done, and then it creates something that's genuinely what your intentions were. And that's a communication issue. It's a human computer interaction issue alongside the AI. And there's a lot of work still needs to be done on that, but we'll see where that goes. Zero saying there's a lot of dogmatism. Yeah, a lot of people in chem that say AI is always bad at programming. Um, but in Senge they seem more happy to use it for utility. Yeah, I feel like this might be a thing, right? Because chem, I assume you're talking about like chemical engineering and stuff like that. When you ask the AI to write the code there, it gives you the same quality code that I'm getting here, where there was this weird thing, which was just like, why is the assignment a colon equals? I don't remember that being part of GD script. So it's just made a mistake, and it may break something. I actually don't even know if that's a mistake. It appears to be accepting that syntax. Let me just... Still runs. Yeah. Okay, so that's fine syntax. I actually don't know what the difference is. But that's exactly it, right? Not knowing what something means or why it exists and stuff like that. So if you don't know enough about code and you just let it write the code, chances are it's going to make some mistakes. Kind of like I've already made several mistakes tonight with my coding, but at least I know that something's wrong, and I want or need to fix it. So I just changed this thing, and it's like, yeah, that'll probably work, and it's not working, and I haven't actually debugged it yet to see what's not working about it. Your code generation's not as good at creating an output and then verifying that it actually works. So I think that might be the thing that gets people, right? Is if you are a software engineer, you're like, yeah, sure, I'll use code generation because I don't have to accept what it says. I can say I don't like it, I want to change it, or you can do what I do, where you go, I'm not even letting you write code in. I will type it in myself, and I'll structure it the way that I think is correct. And so you get that kind of thing where the experts, it's nearly bad, right? It's like we want the AI tools to sort of democratize the idea of coding, so give power to people. But instead, what we've done is we've made people who can already code faster. But for people who can't code, we've given them bugs. Like we've been able to dump code on people that we're not sure definitely works or not, because you still needed a human software engineer to read through it and go, this is what's good, this is what's bad about it, change these bits. So it is kind of funny, right? Um, oh, you're saying the crowd spent a lot of their time venting ethical concerns to the speaker. Um, that's rough on the speaker, but at the same time, it's a conversation that has to be had, because I feel like we're in a sort of situation where there are ethical concerns, because like right now it's just you and me here, Zero. I'm streaming to just one person. So how much global electricity am I using to do this? This is going up to YouTube servers. They're going to have to keep like 2 hours of stuff recorded for me doing this. I'm also using Copilot, which means that somewhere there's a data center chugging through a bunch more electricity in order to uh, work the questions that I'm asking. And so all of this stuff is like, where it's just you and me. We could have sat down somewhere with a laptop and coded this with you looking over my shoulder and just had a chat about it. Um, but unfortunately, yeah, I've committed to doing my Monday night streams, and other people might turn up in a second. There also were more people at the beginning, so there's something there, but um, yeah, we are burning a lot of electricity just for the hell of it, you know. So we do have to kind of We have to think about that. We have to be aware about that. Actually, I was wondering about whether I should stream at all, as the numbers have been dropping. Like when I first started streaming on this stuff, there was like, I think the first stream had a lot of people. It was up to like 30 or 40 concurrent people. So all these people were like, hey, Mark's streaming, what's going on? Obviously, I haven't been that entertaining because it's dropped down to like kind of one or two people most streams. So maybe if no one's gonna come along and watch, I should probably not stream. And instead, I can continue this project and do something else with it. It was a little bit like the whole streaming thing was really for me. It was like a hobby thing, and it was like, if I want to do game dev stuff, chances are I won't do it if I'm going off my own motivation. But if I force myself every Monday night to be like, I have to be in view doing this, I have to show this to people, then I would actually work on it. So there is a selfish kind of thing there, which nearly makes it worse. The amount of electricity I'm burning for selfish reasons of doing hobby programming that I otherwise wouldn't be doing. So, you know, it's a little awkward. And I also think I figured it out. I think that the for loop is made for this purpose, where it goes from one end to the other of an array, and so it won't go array index out of bounds, so I don't need to do the -1. That's just a hunch. I don't know, but I'm assuming it is. Yep. Beautiful. Okay, so we're doing, yeah, I just did the for loop wrong the first time. It's highlighting both, but I want to make sure it unhighlights the first one when it gets to the second one. So I wonder. What's the method to remove a line's background? I keep forgetting to put punctuation on stuff. Oh, sorry. I don't know if you can see that question. There you go. Code remove line's background by setting its background color to fully transparent. Ah, okay, okay. Can do, can do. Do I need to make this explicitly a color? Let me see. It is, yeah, yeah. So we cast it to a color, and so long as the last one, the alpha, is 0, that will set the background to no background. Okay. I'm going to do a few more of these. Just so that we can see it going through them. Go left, go right, go right, go left, go right. Yes, beautiful. All right, good. So we have kind of feedback for the user to watch which command is being executed as it's being executed. I actually probably don't need that debugging anymore now that I know that. Oh no, I do. I do. Because I'm gonna screw up something like this again. So I've got this debugging print statements happening for every time it moves left or right. Okay. It's good that I've got that. But at the same time, that's not even how I want it to move. So eventually the way I want it to move is to move to array locations. But I wanted to, before I do that, I wanted to set up a 2D grid. So if I press play on this thing again, my game window is so tiny. I wonder what the... I wonder if it's like... Oh yeah, 1152 by 648. So this is how small 1152 by 648 is on a 4K monitor. I wonder what that is. I wonder if that's a standard like iOS or Android pixel density. Okay. Sorry, just got an SMS. I was trying to check something. Um, right. So what I actually wanted to do was have chicken move to specific locations rather than relative to current position, because when you're teaching people how to code, you're talking about accessing elements of an array rather than explicitly moving left right on the array. Even though you would occasionally iterate over the array, I kind of want chicken to move to explicit locations, which is why there is a chicken target variable, and chicken target gets set to a particular position. Oh yeah, this is relative. So chicken target gets set to chicken's current position, then gets set 100 pixels to the left or 100 pixels to the right, and then we do this movement. So all of this stuff is just the relative movement, and what I actually want is for this to be in like an absolute position. So what I need for that is, and this is something that was in here. Okay, let me just point out. Okay, added line execution highlighting to show which line is currently being animated. Okay. So what I want is a square grid world where it's stored in a 2D array of tiles, basically, and then each one of those has a position, so it has a center point, so I know where chicken will move to reach something, and then some game specific information. So let's see what Copilot thinks. In Godot, if I want a 2D tile based game, how do I set up the tiles and the world? That's a really vague question, so I wonder. It's having to do a lot of thinking now. Sorry, still getting messages and things. Well, I can message while waiting for Copilot. Yeah. Okay. Create a tile set. Prepare a tile set image, a grid of tile sprites. I don't have images. I do have my one drawing, but I'm not sure that the drawing is going to be perfect. At some point, I'm going to have to make a bunch more art for this game. But I've got the old... Wait. I've got that. So I have an idea. But what I'm going to need to do, if these are going to be perfectly square tiles, is I'm going to need to make sprites for the tiles. In which case, I will want to recreate what I'm doing in a square form. Now, I don't know whether I do pixel art or something else. But it looks like Godot has a tile set resource. File system, new resource tile set. Okay. New resource. And this is good because I was hoping actually I don't know how many things are here. I should just search it. I don't want to have to do all this manually, right? So if it has its own tile system, then I'll use that. Zero saying, yeah, maybe an array of tile objects where each tile object has its own type and coordinate. Yeah, that's what I was planning as well. It's like a 2D array of tile objects. But maybe this already exists. I'm gonna call it the restaurant. Did I spell that right? I think so. Okay. So we have a tileset resource. Define collision shapes, navigation, and other properties for each tile as needed. Tileset, tile shape, square, tile layout. Don't know. Offset axis, tile size, 16 by 16 pixels. I think I can go bigger than that. Cause how far was I moving chicken before? It was like 100 pixels. So this could go as high as like 50. Because I think there's going to be very few tiles. Because I think that we can teach the fundamentals of programming with a very small array. Like you don't need it bigger than about a an array with 10 objects in it, and you can teach a whole lot of fundamental coding. So if the array if it's 10 wide, the number of tiles at that size, that's 500 pixels wide, which is tiny. It's half of the screen width that I have there. So let's go up to 60. Yeah, okay, cool. Physics layers, we're not using physics, so we'll ignore that. Terrain sets. Ooh. I shouldn't have done that. I have no idea what that does. Okay, gonna delete. Okay, navigation layers. That's cool. Okay, I need to learn about this, I think, before I'm gonna be able to use it. But at least I know that it should work. Oh, and there's some scripts we can attach to it for things. Okay. In your scene, add a tile map node. So here's the scene. Under control? Well, code edit's under control, so I guess we add a child node called tile map. Wait, did that just say deprecated? Delete that. Try that again. So under control, tile map. Use tile map layer nodes instead to convert a tile map. Okay, good. Glad that popped up just as I was clicking on it. Right, so there's a big red X there as well, so... Okay. Node for 2D tile-based maps. Tile map layer uses a tile set, which contain a list of tiles that are used to create grid-based maps. Unlike tile map, which is deprecated, tile map layer has only one layer of tiles. You can use several tile map layers to achieve the same result as a tile map node. Okay, cool. Oh! Sorry, it's only my face cam. Oh yeah, I was doing a bunch of stuff here. So, I created a tile set here, which I haven't got any tiles in. And this is a tile map layer, which is the thing that creates the tiles. Set the cell size to match your tile size. I'll attach this, which doesn't help that much because I haven't actually made anything in that. Rendering. Cell size. I feel like this is old. Because I don't think this has cell size, but I'm not sure. Transform is position information. I feel like it's this one. Rendering quadrant size is a strange name, though, so I'm not sure what that means. Oh, wait. Hover over it. Quadrant is a group of tiles to be drawn together on a single canvas item. Defines the length of a square's side. Right. Okay, good. This is how many. So, I think a 10 by 10 is enough for now. Physics off. Navigation enabled. This is interesting. So if there's navigation, does this mean that like I can automatically get an object to move between things? You can use methods like get cell atlas coordinates, set cell, get use cells. Cool. Create a tileset resource from your tileset image, add a tilemap node and assign the tileset. Paint your world in the editor. Nice. Okay. Wait, can I move it? Or is it stuck at 0, 0? Transform. Okay, that does move it. But why can't I move it here? Move mode. Ah, there we go. Okay, so this is my window. Then my 10 by 10 grid can appear over here. So that's my tile grid. It actually feels a little small there. So why don't I take this and I'm gonna make these bigger. Okay, that's good. And then come here and draw less of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What do I need to do to make this change actually work? Because I just changed the number there. And it didn't actually reduce the number of nodes. Is there an apply button? No, there isn't. I'm gonna just name that so I remember what it is. Should I rename that? No, I'll just leave that as it is for now. Okay, so tile map layer here. It's still rendering too many, even though I've reduced that. I wonder if there's something else going on. No, this is all changing in real time, so I'm not sure why. But again, I'm poking around at a bunch of stuff that I do not know, so let's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm just going to do a roughly 6 by 6 grid here. And that's lined up reasonably well. I mean, it's not super important how well it's lined up. And I want chicken to be moving through these tiles. So, I wonder if I should add context. Oh, no, that's not. Okay, given a tile map layer. So I don't know if I need to keep saying in Godot. Looking for the center of a single tile. Because then I could move to that. Although that's probably the wrong question. Map to local. Right. Okay, no. What I wanted to do is move a sprite to the center of a tile. Get the tile's grid coordinates, a vector 2, convert the grid coordinates to world position, map to local, add half the tile size, get the center, set the sprite's position to this value. Okay, so cell coordinate is XY. Cell size gets you the size, cell origin. So we map to local of the origin of the cell, which I assume is the top left corner, and then we're adding half of the cell size to the X and Y, and we get the center of it. And then we set the sprite's position to that. Okay. I wonder if I should do some populating of these cells so that we can actually see something there, and then we can move chicken around on those. Because also interesting about ordering, like, how do we decide which sprites are at the front and which are at the back? When we're doing this purely in code, it's a draw order, as in, like, the thing that's in the foreground gets drawn last. But I'm not sure exactly how. Oh, wait, ordering. All right, Z index. Okay, Z being the axis that aims towards us. So if that Z index is 0, I wonder if this also has the same thing. Visibility, ordering, yeah. So if I set the Z index of chicken to 1 and the Z index of the restaurant is 0, hopefully that means chicken's always in front of the restaurant. We'll find out. We'll find out once I start putting some images there. Okay, so we just need some kind of tile that was 100 by 100 pixels. Do I have anything? We can do something really dodgy and just make this in paint. Okay, new canvas. 100 by 100. This is like making emojis. 100 by 100 pixels. Wait, don't lock the aspect ratio. Yeah. 100 by 100. Cool. Pixels, good. Zoom in. Brushes. Let's do a light gray. And we will just don't like that one. Spray paint. Just pretend that I'm airbrushing something. Yep. So all I'm doing is just a bit of shading around the outside edges. Oh, do I need to do anything else with this? It's a bit too thick. 1 pixel thick ballpoint pen. Do a little kind of tiling. Do I want this? Do I? I don't know. No, this is not going to line up with the things around it, so let's not do that. If I just leave it like this, it'll probably be fine. So let's just save this, because all I need is something, because at the moment I don't need good art, I just need it to be good enough to whatchamacallit, to let me do things. Ooh, tabletop simulator mods. Interesting. Alright, we're not doing anything like that right now. In pictures? Did I have somewhere where I was... Ooh, my games. No, that's not... No, of course. I was wondering if I had somewhere where I was keeping the stuff. Oh, it would be... Where's Godot saving stuff? Because that's where I want that to be. Project settings. No, hang on. Where would it be? Right, I found it. Coding interface. Ah, I don't know whether I should just save it in this direction. Well, the chicken sprite's in this direction as well. Okay. Documents coding interface. I think it went to a different documents here. Because that is not. That's like a OneDrive thing. I was looking for this one. Coding interface. We'll call this floor tile. I should have saved that. Anyway, I saved the PNG, so it's fine. At least I hope I did. Did I save it? Okay. Now I need to know how to actually use that image as a tiles image. Okay. How to assign a PNG to a tile in a tile map layer. Import PNG in my projects res directory. It is there. Good. Create or edit a tile set. Yes. Select your tile map node. Click the tile set. Create a new tile set resource. Oh, hello, Halogen. We are playing around with creating a tile set here. And then I'm going to redo my movement to work on that tile set. I also have a... Oh, wow, that's still running. I have a little thing to show that... To show the player which command is currently executing as it executes. And that should help a little bit with debugging. Oh, Halogen is also a top fan now. Now that this has become something, I don't understand when or why, but I was joking that YouTube is copying Twitch's homework, basically. I assume that YouTube Live has been trying to copy Twitch's homework for quite some time. Okay, so the current thing that I'm working on is to, given this grid here, apply tiles, and then whatchamacallit, have chicken move between these tiles. So I'm going to I was trying to figure out how to attach the image. Yeah, yeah, okay. So we've got the image, tile map node. In the inspector, click the tile set property, create a new tile set resource if you don't have one. I do have one. That's the restaurant. Click the tile set resource to open the tile set editor. Ooh. I don't know if this is the editor that I'm supposed to be looking at, but anyway. Tile set editor. Click the plus to add a tile, select the PNG, adjust the region, collision, and other properties as needed. Okay. I assume it's here. Tile sources. Palette of tiles made from a texture. A collection of scenes can be instantiated and placed as tiles. I don't know. Let's try this. Yeah. Just drag something. Yes, base tiles. All right. Oh, I get it. So if I wanted to, I could have lots of these. Oh, sorry, no. I could have one large image, which then I could cut into separate tiles, which I haven't done because I've only made a single tile. So, hold control to create multiple tiles? No. Hold shift to create big tiles. Don't know. You can paint stuff? All right. I don't know what I'm doing here, but maybe I have a tile now? I can select. Oh, yes! It works! Haha. It's like, just start clicking on stuff and see what happens. Oh, great. Okay. So I've got my floor tile, which actually looks horrible now that it's tiled, but whatever, whatever. We're still testing. So, and also at least they've got a little bit of shading around the borders to show that they're doing something. So I would want that, and would also want some kind of bench top. And I want chicken to be moving around on the floor tiles and being able to access the bench tops. So let's just make another one while I'm just doing horrible um quick and dirty 100 by 100. Wait, were these even 100 pixels? They were, right? I can't remember what size I made them. It would have been here. 100 by 100. Okay, okay. So I'm not randomly compressing them or something. Okay, so the bench top. What color did I do the bench top? It was like a nice green kind of color, right? I can't believe that one night where I drew a picture instead of uh I drew the picture instead of like doing any coding or anything was actually super useful. Okay. So I painted it kind of dark green. Is that gonna fill? Okay, fill. That one, that one. Cool. And then I'll do a similar thing as before. Used one of these. I think I need to zoom in. And we will take a darker version of that green. All right, looks horrible, but it's kind of got a top and a bottom. One day, one day I may learn how to digitally paint. But this is not that day. Okay, save as image, floor tile, bench top. And that should magically turn up here once that thing refreshes. There it is. You drop that in there. Nothing happened. Oh. Wait, tile set in here, in here. Yes, good. Right. In here, how do we select other tiles? That's a white tile. That's not a green tile. So, sure. I actually don't know. Wait, why does that have a circle in it? Did I, when I saved that, did it actually accidentally save the brush that happened to be there when I click save? Actually, no, we don't care, we don't care, we don't care. We're just learning how to do the systems. Let's not get too caught up in whether things look good or not. Okay, so we've got a floor tile and we've got a bench top, but add tile button. Tile set. Okay, we've got two different tiles. ID 0, ID 1. Okay, cool. So we do have two. Um, how do I paint a different tile? Okay. So I'm just asking it, if I have two tiles from a tile set resource, how do I paint different tiles into my tile map layer? I feel like there's a whole tutorial somewhere that I'm not doing that I should have. Select the tile map node in the scene tree. That's up here. Oops. In the bottom panel, tile map editor shows tile set with both tiles. Click on the tile you want to paint. Whoa. Left click on the grid in the 2D viewpoint to paint that tile. To paint the other tile, click on it in the palette and paint as before. Okay. I don't know if that's where I'm supposed to be clicking on it. We're not painting. We're not painting. Okay, what have I done wrong? You can do it in code. Let's not do it in code. I do this the easy way. That's weird because before when I was clicking on stuff, it did that. Is it because it's running? No, it's not running. That's weird. It totally was there before. Like, how did I paint those? Pick a tool, paint tool. Selection tool? Oh, there is clicking now. I think I have that selected. Select all layers. It's not, paint tool. Ah, oh, that's it. Nice. Okay. So that took a little while, but um now we have this is so much worse than the drawing that I made. But anyway, we have the white tiles that chicken walks on, and then the green bench top. Let's see if this is actually rendering. It is rendering. I love how that it does have that little circle from paint. I don't know why that ended up in the save file, but we'll let that go. Okay, so we have these 6 tiles that we can walk along, and then the 6 kind of I'm gonna call them memory locations that we're gonna need to do stuff with. So this is our moving space, and this is us kind of indexing into these 6 locations. What I need to do now is have chicken start maybe at 0, and then be able to move specifically to any of those locations, which means we change what's going on in here. Okay, so let me move this stuff out of the way now so I can go back to scripting. Okay. So we have go. We no longer will be using left and right. I don't know if I want to just burn this entirely. Or maybe I'm going to keep this code in case I need to use some of it. So instead of it being a direction, it's going to be go. I don't want to use the word go to. So if I turn this into go to, maybe I'll just leave it as go, and then this won't be a direction. This will be a target location. Did I spell that out entirely? Yeah, long variable names. Okay. Then also I have no error checking here or anything. It's all very, very very loose at the moment. I don't have any way of labeling those tiles. Because I want this one to be 0, 0, but I'm pretty sure it isn't because it's in a tile map layer that's actually much bigger than that. I don't know why this. No, that's not making any changes at all. One time that I did it, it shrunk in size, but now it's not. I'm trying to hover so I can read you. Okay. Tile map layers quadrant size. Quadrant is a group of tiles to be drawn together on a single canvas item. Rendering quadrant size defines the length of a square's side in the map's coordinate system that forms a quadrant. Does not apply on a Y-sorted tile map layer. I don't know what that is. Grouped by Y position. Not sure. I thought this was reducing the number of tiles, but maybe it's not, so maybe I just won't touch that. Anyway, okay, navigation is on. So there's some kind of stuff I can do with navigation here, which I don't know about. Okay, okay. What was my goal? Okay, we're going to start chicken at this cell here. I have no idea what its coordinates are, but let's do that as a starting thing before I do too much stuff here. Can I just... Ha! No. Was it Control K? Yeah, there we go. All right, so we have no movement for the moment. That's fine. We'll give that the pass, saying that the function is empty. And what we want to do is um ready. So on ready, we're going to set chicken's initial position. So I actually had a thing here. I had a question before where I said, how do you do it? Assume tilemap is your tilemap node, sprite is your sprite. Put chicken in the starting position. So what I'm going to do is when ready is called, so when the game is created, we're going to put chicken in the starting location. I realized that the funniest thing about streaming while coding is I explain stuff with my voice when I'm coding. And then I don't put any comments in. I have put some, but anyway. Let's put chicken in the starting location. So the starting location in tile coordinates is going to be a vector to I. So that means a two-dimensional integer vector. And we're going to call this 0, 0 because I don't know what the coordinates are yet. So let's put it at 0, 0, and then at least I'll know where 0, 0 is. Actually, I want this in a function because there's a reset button that I haven't actually connected to anything. And I want, when someone presses a reset button, I want the code to go back to the start and chicken to go back to the starting position. So I just want a function here, don't I? Set chicken start. Do I want this pickup thing here? Maybe later. I'll leave it in there just in case. Okay, function. Oh, we have this underscore for the functions, so I should use that. Okay. I need to spell that right. Okay, so set chicken start is going to first have a vector 2i of, okay, so variable tile coordinates is a integer vector at 0, 0. I was so about to get my first semicolon count, but I didn't, which is great. Doing well. I'm starting to actually like code in this language rather than coding in another language in my head and then translating it. Although I think I'm still doing that, but anyway. Okay, so we've got the coordinates, and then so that's the tile that we're aiming for, which we're gonna have to change because, like, who knows? Oh, I wonder if there's a nice way to do that, to just like copy it in via the inspector. So say, can I select this tile and say, which one is this tile? Oh no. Oh god, oh god. I just right clicked on it and it deleted it and I can't remember how to draw it. Okay, draw, select, draw. Okay, good, good. Interfaces. Okay. Let's deselect that. Now we're in a selection tool. So, oh, I can select this. Does it give me any information about the particular one that I've selected? No, it's not changing the position when I click on it, so that must be the position of the entire thing. All right, let's go back to Copilot. Okay, can I select a single tile and get information? Because then at least I'll know what the XY is at the starting position. Hmm. In the editor GUI, use the select tool in the tile map editor, click the tile in the grid. Inspector will show the tile's coordinates and tile ID. Okay, so I have selected it. Inspector. Okay, let's. So I have selected it. Physics, process, material, texture, ordering. No. Visibility. Transform. Okay, we've got the tile set. Rendering, physics, and navigation. Hmm. We're in the select tool. Select single tile. Use the select tool in the tile map editor to click on a tile in the grid. Okay, tile map editor is down here. Select tool. That is selected. I can see it went blue. The inspector will show the tile's coordinates and tile ID. Which inspector? You can get information about a tile at a specific grid coordinate. Yep, okay. Am I looking in the wrong inspector? It's not in the node. No, it's not in the history. I don't know if I'm not seeing it. Okay. I've selected a tile, but the inspector does not show me the tile's coordinates or tile ID. Maybe it will be able to help me troubleshoot and say you're looking at the wrong thing. Oh, I'm correct, am I? The Godot editor's inspector does not display the tile's coordinates or tile ID when you select a tile on a tile map. Inspector only shows property for the tile map node itself, not for individual tiles. This is so funny. That's what you said it should do. Anyway, using the editor does not natively show tile coordinates or IDs. You can see which tile is selected in the tile palette, but not its position in the map. Well. I love it when the AI is like, hey, it tells you how to do something, and then you go, I'm not sure that's how it worked, and it'll be like, you know what? It's not. Okay, all right, fine. I will just code it by trial and error, because what we're going to do is we're going to set chicken to 0, 0. And we'll go back to the other thing before, which was cell coordinates. Okay, I'm going to copy paste this one. Tile set, tile size. Oh, actually, no, I'm going to have to do that anyway. Tile size is equal to tile map. Okay, in order to, I need to get access to the tile map layer. I don't even know if I need the onReady there. I think I'm just copying from what they were doing. Tile map is equal to restaurant tile map layer. Okay, cool. So now I have a tile map. Tile map dot tile set tile size. Okay, this is the 100 pixel tile size, but it's good to get this from the actual object rather than explicit numbers, because explicit numbers are probably not that good. I would love to be able to not say tile coordinates 0, 0, but say the starting tile and having the starting tile explicitly referenced somewhere. But I don't know how to do that. Ooh, let's ask. In a tile map layer, can I mark a... Can I reference specific tile that I've selected in the 2D view? Because maybe the script itself can have a thing where it references... Oh, nope, nope. In the Godot editor, you cannot directly reference a specific tile from the inspector or via a built-in variable. The selection of the 2D views only for painting or erasing does not expose the selected tile's coordinates or ID to scripts or the inspector. In code, you must know the grid coordinates that you want to reference. Okay, fine. We are going with an explicit vector 2 then. Okay, so we've got the location and the size of the tile. Then we map the, where is it? It's back up here. We find the coordinate of a particular cell in the tile map. So the origin of that tile, the 0, 0 of that tile, is equal to tile map to local of this particular tile's coords. And then we get a cell center. Do I need that? I could just set the position. So chicken position. I had it somewhere else where I was doing it. Okay, chicken target. No, chicken dot position. All right, that's easy. So we're taking the position and we're setting that to the... It's not called cell. I was using tile. Tile origin plus the tile size divided by 2. So we're moving it halfway along. I assume that's going to do both coordinates at once. And this should set chicken's position to the center of the 0, 0 tile. Or crash. Invalid operands, vector 2 and vector 2i in operator plus. Okay, fine. This is a vector 2. And dividing something by 2 is going to give us not an integer, I assume. So tile size is a vector 2 or a vector 2i. Tile's origin is also a vector. No, hang on. This one has decimal points. So this is a vector 2, and tile size is a vector 2i. I can make this a vector 2, no worries. Because even if it's not exactly, if it's 1 pixel off at the origin, it'll still be fine. So can we just cast this? Are we good? Are we good with just like implicit casting like this? Like getting warnings. Parameter delta is never used. Parameter target. Okay, no, I'm not getting those warnings. They're different warnings. Ooh. I don't want to look at them anymore. Okay. All right, 0, 0's over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. So it's probably 5, 3. I'm just entirely guessing there, but ew. That is close, but it is definitely an incorrect position. Zero saying, what's the Backer seminar colon count under your face? Oh, it's the semicolon and bracket count, which is the number of times that I type something in the wrong language. And today I've been doing very well. So it's the number of times I end a line with a semicolon, or I put square brackets, or oh no, I put curly braces around functions or if statements and things like that. And I've been doing very well today. I'm actually starting to program like I actually know this language rather than just having to manually translate in my head. Okay, so interesting that chicken's position here does not appear to relate correctly to the center of the cell. So I wonder if chicken's position is actually the top left corner. That's better. Why the strange offset though? If the top left corner of chicken is the same as the top... Oh, maybe chicken's actual size and the sprite size are not the same. Actually, I have no idea. There's an offset? No, there's no offset. Transform. I don't know. It's got a position, but that's not super important. Texture and material. I don't think any of that stuff would be there. Okay. The question is this a problem? It's not entirely a problem. I could just leave it like that. Okay, so the awkwardness is 5, 3 is actually 0, 0. You know what I'm going to do. I set this back to 0, 0. We're going to go into the 2D thing. And we're going to go tile map layer was 0, 0 is around here. Oops. Okay. Because I think rather than mentally translating the coordinates in my head that's saying 5 3 is actually 0 0, I prefer moving the entire grid so that 0 0 is actually 0 0. I reckon that's a much better solution. Was it around here? Let's see if I got that right. What? Okay, so I moved the whole grid and 0 0 appears to have gone back up into the top left corner. And I moved the grid all okay. So is 0 0 the top left tile that can be drawn in the game space? So it doesn't matter where I move the origin of the tile set. Oops. Select this, move this. It doesn't matter where I put this. 0 0 is going to be whichever, it's going to be this one, or if I move it like this, it's going to be this one. I have no idea. Okay, let me... No. I don't really know how this works. See, that's actually a smaller set of tiles now. So, okay, if I drag this down here, then Sea of Chicken is just below her current location. No, it always goes up to the top left. So it appears that regardless of where I put the tile set, it treats the tile set as covering the entire space of the screen. Oh wait. No, doing play doesn't work because I've blanked out all of the whatchamacallits. All of the functions that were doing the all the functions are doing the moving because we're not going to do relative movement anymore. Okay. I feel like at the moment I should just keep Control Z until it gets back to the way it was, but I think I will just take the tile map layer and this, and then okay, select all of these. No. Oh, I had to select the tile. Oh yeah. My hope to get this one marked as 0 0 is not going to work. So it's offset from what it was in the top left corner. So I think it was 5 3. We'll see. Okay, back to here. So the starting position is awkwardly 5 3. I should save that somewhere so that when I'm doing calculations, this thing is a I know that that's a starting tile and everything's relative to that tile. That way, if I need to change this later, if I change the layout, I've just got that starting tile and I don't need to have horrible magic numbers floating around. Okay, so we have a starting tile there, and then chicken at the chicken start gets put in the starting tile. I've got an on play pressed, and what I need also is to do a signal on the reset. I know technically how to do this because I know that like I want to add a signal to the reset button, but I've only done it once or twice before, so I can't remember. Add signal, add signal, add signal. No. Inspector, filter signals, button pressed, signal pressed. Cool. Connect this to control on reset pressed. Cool. Okay, so now we have on reset pressed, set chicken start. Hopefully that's all I need to do. So let's test. Oh, I can't test this because I don't have any movement controls that work. Okay, let's get our movement controls going. So this is position 0, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And starting tile, I'm not going to call it starting tile. I want to call it position 0. Because that gives me a little bit more memory about where it is. Okay, so position 0 is where chicken starts. And then if we have go to a target location. So, okay, so we've got movement. So if we move chicken, we expect the next thing to be a target location, which is a string, except I want that to be an integer. Is this gonna work if I just call this an int? We'll find out. Okay, so our target coords will be the position 0. Then the integer is the location. So 0 will be at 0 and 4 will be like indexed over. So target coord x plus equals target location, right? Because it's just the location is an offset from 0. So that should just change it to that. And then what we do is we do the rest of this stuff is once we've got... Wait, we don't use tile size anymore, do we? Because we're not actually moving it to the center. So we do map to local and then set chicken position. All right, let's do that. Tilemap dot map to local coordinates of target coord. And then we set chicken's position to the target coord. Not target coord. No, it's another variable. I'm just like getting all this information and not actually putting it in a variable. So variable, what were they calling it here? Cell origin. Need a better name for that. Because it's coordinates. Oh no. Tile local position. The fact that I'm rewriting this makes me feel a little bit like I shouldn't. That this should be in a this should be in a function of its own, but we'll leave it there for the moment. Because everything's still pretty hacky here. Okay, so this should be moving chicken specifically to a position. We don't have any animation yet. We'll get to that. Okay, so now I'm just going to go to specific positions. And I'll see if it does this. So go 1 we probably won't be able to see because it's instantaneous, but I should end up over here at 4. Or I crash. Okay, well, that's an interesting thing. Invalid type in function move chicken. Cannot convert one argument from string to int. Okay. We're not getting easy implicit casting. Okay. So this, can I do that? Can I do that? Can I just cast it to an integer? We'll find out. We can. It's weird that I didn't do the second one. Did the first one and I went to 1. So that means that's working. And it's highlighting the first line and then it's not doing the second line. Ooh, let's reset. Hey, reset goes back to 0, but it doesn't. Okay, so something's happening. Oh, await. It's awaiting a signal saying it's finished. And that signal is never being emitted because I don't have animation. Okay. Rerun that. So play this. It should skip past 1. We're not going to be able to see it because it'll be too quick. And it'll go over to 4. Okay. All right. So we have positional movement. We now need nice navigation. Oh, wait. That thing has a navigation. The tile map layer has a navigation. So if we want to navigate to specific tiles, maybe that is going to give us a nice way to navigate instead of this explicit positioning stuff. Okay. Let's ask a simpler question first. To navigate, I typically want to move the editor's 2D view or camera to focus on a specific tile or move a node, like a player or a cursor, to that tile in code. Yes, I do. I want to move a player to that tile. There's no inbuilt button to jump to a specific tile by coordinates in the editor. You must manually pan and zoom to the tile. Okay, that's fine. In code, to move a node, a sprite or camera to the center of a tile at grid coordinates. This is the same code as before. I don't think this is giving me the answers that I want. I don't even know if Godot has actual navigation tools. The only evidence I have of this is there is a navigation thing here in the tilemap layer and it says navigation is enabled. Navigation regions are enabled. Godot's built-in navigation tools in the 2D editor. No, not in the 2D editor. I want this in-game. I wonder if it's going to understand what I mean by this. We'll see. I'm pushing the limits here of how good the AI is on understanding what I mean. I love how they're always really polite. To move a sprite to the center of a specific tile while the game is running, use this. It's the same thing. Okay, so I'm just going to have to assume that this navigation thing isn't a thing. Or we go old school. Creating navigation read 2D from tile map data. Navigation of procedurally generated tile map with obstacles. Oh, right. I get what this is. This is like your A-star, A-star and Dijkstra's and stuff like that, I assume. Hey, Amber, how's it going? We are playing around with, the chicken game again. I've gotten to a point where, hang on, I'll run it again. I've got chicken here. I can say go 1, go 4. I press play, and it momentarily would have gone past 1 to 4. And I could say go 2 and then play, and it should go back to 2. Yeah. I'm on the comp 3421 timetable for next term. What? That's got to be some copy pasta from, wait, 4 years ago? They copy pasted me from 4 years ago. That's so good. Strangely enough, no, I will not be teaching 3421 next term. I do have another job that I will be doing. Oh, they fixed it now. Oh. So it was just a moment. They copy pasted it. And then it went live before they actually edited it to the real person who was doing it. Okay, reset should bring us back to 0. Okay. Oh no, they didn't. Okay. We got it. We got to go check this out. Three, four, two, 1, 2025, term 3. There's a Dr. A. Daraja. That's Ali, right? I don't think I ever actually met them, but am I in here somewhere? Hang on, where is it? Scroll all the way down. Are there people? People? I don't see class. I don't see a teacher name anywhere. No, I just searched for me and I didn't get it. Wait, these are... Is this people's names? Second last one. This is me. Do I click on it to find out? Or is my name there and I can't see it? Lecture. Under instructor. Oh! Ha 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 ha. Yes. It appears I will be... Well, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. I can do that while I'm working. Weeks 1 to 3, 5, and 7 to 10. What are they? They've got a gap in weeks 4 and 6, but not in the other lecture theatre. Control F G. We'll see if I'm anywhere else. No, just here. All right, well, I'll see you there. I've still got all my lecture material. Oh, did I save it? Or did I just give it to UNSW and not save it for myself? I think I did somewhere have a bunch of slides. Yeah, this will be fun. Hang on. I'm going to open my Google Drive, but I'm not opening it on an open screen there. There's a bunch of stuff that is not publicly available. But let me check my folders. UNSW CSE 2021. Comp 3421 graphics. Wait, I have assignments? No, I don't. I do have assignments? I didn't know I had all of these. I thought I'd lost these. Someone asked me for the old assignments ages ago, and I was like, no, I don't think I've got them anymore. Turns out I do. I just didn't look. I'm sorry, whoever that was. I don't know. They're in the stream now. Okay. So I do have all of my lectures still. Lecture X, I think, was the getting ready, but here's lecture 1. So let's do a quick rundown. This is the course staff. Matt was, oh, these are all my tutors from that term. Anyway. Oh, wow. There was a lockdown, so I was just being nice and talking about the lockdown beforehand. But then I was like, okay, what are we talking about? Wow, I laugh at my slides. Um, what my slides looked like before I started working at Canva versus what my slides look like afterwards. I actually, while Canva was paying me, I was learning how to make better slides, which is interesting. Zero, do me or the uni own the slides? That's a good question. Uh, and generally, a lot of the time, when we have slides and we put them up in the public domain, then no one owns them. Like all my Comp 1511 stuff is like all the lectures are open and stuff, so you can kind of you can see them no matter what. So I don't know who owns the IP here. Because I think anyone could use it again because it's all public. So I'm happy for them to use this again if they want to. Um, and also, if I was to teach another graphics course, I'd probably write it again from scratch. But anyway, we could go through this. I could be like, hey, why are we studying graphics? Oh, this is cool. Who thought this up? This is great. Sometimes I go back over my old stuff because it's been 4, 5 years. Oh, hello. Wait, can you see that? Eh. Let me go face cam because this is an actual chicken moment. She's up the back there and she just ran up the tree. I can tell from how her tail is twitching and stuff that she's getting a bit zoomies at the moment, so it's obviously playtime. What you doing, chicken? What are you doing? Scratching? Yeah, let's scratch some stuff. Yes. How are we doing? We getting zoomies? Zoomies, Chicky? Now she's just looking at me. No, she's settling down. Oh, okay. Okay, we're gonna settle down. All right. That's good. You can still see her in the background there. Oh, wait. I'm cropped a bit more on this scene to focus in on my head and take up less space. Anyway, so talking about graphics. Hey, chicken, what are you doing? You come say hello? Yeah? Yeah? Come on. Yeah, you can hop up. Say hi to everyone. Yes. Yes, we're going to say hi. Alright, I'll switch it back to face cam. Hello. Mm-hmm. Hi, Chicky. What's you doing? Are you gonna meow for everyone? Going to meow? Just like push her head up against the microphone and see if she meows. Are you gonna meow? No. No. She tends to not meow if she's getting a cuddle, because obviously if she's getting a cuddle, there's nothing that you need to talk about. She's like, she doesn't need to request to be picked up or anything like that. She's just like happily just sitting here. She's not actually purring right now. Usually by now she'd be purring, but maybe she's flicking her tail a bit, so maybe she's a bit zoomy. You can kind of see her claws are out there, so maybe she actually wants to go for a run. What do you think, chicken? Oh no. I put her on the lap and now she's purring. Oh, Zara, your cat talks when she's patted. Yeah. I guess all cats are different. Chicken will request the pat, and then once she's being patted, she'll just purr. So now she has said, I am on the lap. And being on the lap means I'm happy and content. Yes, little happy bug. Such a winter thing that she is like, during winter, she's like, just wants to be on the lap or warm in the bed all the time. Anyway, Lots of graphic stuff. Oh, I go through the history of computer graphics. This is like nearly a history of computer games, really, because games drove graphics for. Oh, wait. Sorry. Tracing the design of the forehead patterns on their torties and then getting it tattooed. That's really cute. You could totally do that. Chicken's very stripy as well. She's got all these stripes all the way down. And it's like, yeah, 2D sprites and things, and the birth of 3D graphics, polygon rendering invented around the time of Doom and Quake. I think Quake was genuine polygon rendering. Doom was still sprites in a 3D environment, but the walls and stuff like that could be considered the beginnings of polygon rendering. And then we talk about films getting involved, and like Jurassic Park is a such a kind of miracle of 3D graphics. Like, it was one of those things where they probably shouldn't have done it. Like, they may have been better off with prosthetics and stuff like that, but they ended up being able to do such good work with the graphics that spawned the VFX industry. And yes, lots of cool stuff. Oh, and then talking about how our eyes work and things, and RGB as well. There's a whole lot of detail in the theory of how you display information to humans. I guess that's what I like to do in the first lecture, is just go, okay, what is the background to everything before we get into like homework. I love the homework stuff I get for graphics, because I was just like, um uh do you want to know about the history of graphics? Here are the games and movies to watch that will give you an insight into the development and stuff like that. The slides are giving you neural networks vibes. So whoever's teaching neural networks is using the same kind of like really, really basic ass Google slides. I can't believe how super basic my slides were compared to like, yeah, all the shit that I can do in Canva nowadays. Very, very different. And I would just use Canva for everything now. And it's so funny because my students were using Canva, and people were doing like presentations like, wow, this all looks really good and stuff. And I'm just like, you know what? I should have been getting on board with that, because like, you think about like the student presentations is seen by like half a dozen people, whereas my stuff was getting watched by thousands of people. I probably should have had better production values. Oh, course outline. Second half of the first lecture is always boring. I mean, you need it, but it's boring. Oh, I ran a Discord for that as well, because like I was like, you know what? Games and film industry, we're not using um although some of them are still using Slack, but a lot of gaming stuff's on Discord. Anyway. Ooh, talking about assessments and stuff, and Xavier put together this animation of what you could do in the first assignment, which is always very funny. I can't remember whether this was actually the assets we gave you to make the first assignment. Yeah. Ooh, sorry. I feel like my partner's voice is coming through. I'm not sure. I better shut the doors so that she doesn't end up going on stream by accident. One sec. I just wonder about this, like when both my partner and I were working in the pandemic and we are in meetings, it was just like, how much are you hearing of the other person's meeting? It's not like she's like all the way down the hall, but it was still kind of like, I'm not sure if there was her voice coming through, and I don't want to accidentally broadcast her conversations. Zero, you wish this was the way they did graphics when you were doing it. Oh, I'm sorry. You must have done it after I left or before. Wait, no, before didn't even happen for years, I think. Mine was a highly technical kind of graphics programming sort of course, which is potentially interesting on the one hand, but on the other hand, potentially not very useful. Like, I don't know if anyone in the industry is using the stuff that I was teaching. So, you know, yeah, who knows? Who knows whether it would have been useful or not. You did it after. Yeah, so after it changed, right? It changed into highly practical and not very theoretical. Um, which is like you do stuff in an engine and then you kind of ignore everything in the that the engine's doing for you. Whereas mine's entirely talking about what the engine would be doing for you. Essentially, a group project in Unreal Engine ended up doing an AW. Wait, what's an AW? Wow, I went into like monitors and pixels and stuff like that. Oh wow, this is like even old now because we've got OLED now. So 2021 OLED was like in research and stuff, but not a consumer level yet. Oh, academic withdrawal, damn. Oh well. I guess if you know it, you know a course is not interesting you, then you move on. Where are we here? So this is the graphics card I showed here is a 3090, so that's 2 generations ago. This is the card that no one could get because of Bitcoin. And then the 5090 will be known as the card that no one can get because of Gen AI. So there's always something stopping graphics cards. I'm always like always getting on my soapbox and just going, give us our graphics cards back. We know what you want to do. You want to do all your kind of processing and stuff, but just us gamers still require graphics cards to do our thing. And could we please get them at a reasonable price rather than like weird competition, meaning we don't get access to graphics. So what are we doing? Graphics cards from a historical perspective. There's a hardware reason, right? Because like the frame buffer is bigger than the amount of bandwidth that you actually have on the PCI Express bus, which wasn't even back in the day. It was like AGP or something when graphics cards were invented. So it's kind of like you needed something separate to handle graphics because you didn't have a data bus big enough to actually send data to a monitor at 60 frames a second, of even something like 640 by 480. Yeah, and the comparison, CPUs are less number of cores going very fast. GPUs are much more number of cores running in parallel, which also is what makes them so good for Bitcoin mining and AI. Highly unfortunate. Ooh, polygons. Ooh, polygons into meshes. Oh, and this is where I start to break people's brains with maths. Ah! Oh my god. I love it. I did this kind of shit on purpose. Just oh shit! Don't edit that. This is historical. This belongs in a museum. I shouldn't edit this. Um, image credits because I credited all the other images. So I was like, I wrote this one myself. I'm gonna credit myself to show you why it's so bad. But it's the idea that if we look at a monitor, what's displayed on the monitor should be what we would have seen if we were in the fake 3D world that's being built up. So all this kind of theoretical stuff. Oh, this is fun. I should go through the whole thing and talk about the whole course as well. Yeah. Still a good meme. Students want to make games, and so they study graphics to want to make games, and then what they get is bus bandwidth, coordinate geometry, and linear algebra. Very good, very good. This is a lot of fun. And then coding graphics, talk about coding using OpenGL and shaders, which is fun. And C++. So we were using C++ and OpenGL, which is still, I think, still valid now. You can still use that. Anyway, that's fun. Oh, there's so many more. Oh my god, Mark. So someone made this So this is a texture and bump mapping exercise on this. And I'm pretty sure the Mark coin image was made for a CSC Sock April Fools, possibly that year or the year before, 2020 maybe. And it was the idea was that CSE was seceding from the Australian nation and forming their own nation, and and the currency of that nation was the Mark coin. Uh, it's pretty bad because I think later on, like Bitcoin scams, like all the, all those custom coin scams started happening. I was like, oh, I feel bad now that my name's on a coin. But at least it was always a joke, so it's okay. No one ever minted it or tried to fleece anyone out of money using it. So yeah, lots of stuff, lots of fun. All right, I guess when does it start? Like teaching period, term 3 starting. Wait, census date is the 9th of October. So the starting of the course will be, or is that September or October? I don't know which format we're using. No, it is 9th of October. So that means the term would start late September. I'll see you in late September in Matthews Theatre or E19. I don't even know. It's called Patricia O'Shane 104. I actually don't know that building, so that must have been a building that was renamed or built after I was there. So I'll see you in these lecture theaters, 6 to 8 p.m. My name's on it, so I have to be there, I guess. I hope they're going to pay me for this because, or they don't have to pay me because I'll be going through 5-year-old lectures and expecting them to still be relevant. I mean, some of it might be. The base theory is all still relevant, but it won't be relevant at all to the assessments that you're doing in graphics. But I'll see you there. And if they don't take my name off it, I'll actually no, I'm not going to turn up. But it would be really funny if I did. This must be an automatic copy paste because my name hasn't been on this course for at least 4 years. So it's very strange. But maybe I've been hired back to UNSW and I just don't know about it. So I will expect an employment contract. Or maybe, you know what I need to do? I need to email Andrew Taylor and fill out what do they call it? The HR 34 form, the form for your casual teaching hours. And I'll email in one of those and then and say, look, apparently this is me and I'll be doing 2 lectures a week for 10 weeks. So I expect to be paid. What's the form? Hang on. USW casual academic form. Electrical engineering, that was the wrong thing. Casual staff, HR. You can have my cookies. Casual tutorial, demonstration, casual marking. Wait, where's my casual lecturing? It's a higher rate than any of this stuff. Primary form of education delivery, lectures, there we go. No, this is just rates. Where are my forms? I want to fill in a form and send it in. It'd be really funny. Okay, let's not. But funny to know that I'm there. Okay, let's go back to Godot. What was I even doing? I was animating the sprite movement. This was doing a tweening thing. But I don't necessarily want to do... maybe we could do that. The problem is, if I do this tweening thing, it's got a time. And so Chicken could move really fast if we jump over to the end of things. But maybe that's okay, because if it's too slow, it's really annoying. Let's see what it looks like. So, What are we taking out of this? Let's just delete the stuff we're not using. Okay. Chicken target. No. Okay, this is chicken target. Chicken target is where we're going. And we're not modifying that. We are creating a tween. And then we're going from chicken's position to the chicken target over half a second. We play that. We await the finished and we emit the signal. And then we don't need a right movement because there's only one type of movement now. We'll see if this works. Because I'm just like copy pastoring here and I've already been coding for a couple of hours. So, well, actually, I've been coding for a couple of hours. I've been talking about random stuff. Okay, let's see if this works. So the movement to 4 was very, very quick. Okay, let's do multiples. So we'll reset and we'll go 1, 4. Okay, so the fixed time movement is not very good. I think that we want the chicken moving at a standard speed instead. So the tweening using time is not as good as moving a sprite based on a set speed. Let's see what Copilot thinks about like to move a sprite between 2 arbitrary coordinate positions at a fixed speed. And I think that this is going to be going into this process delta and stuff like that. Start position, end position, speed, moving to end is true. And the ready sets a start position and the delta. Yeah, that's what I thought. So it's in the process delta. Okay, so chicken target is null. Variable target equals end position if moving to end, else start position. Ooh, that's a lot in one line. I don't usually put my if statements after variable assignments, but that's okay. So, chicken target is equal to end position if we are moving to the end. Okay, so we need a variable that says whether we're currently moving or not. And we're going to start that at false. And then we're going to have the chicken target position, which starts at null. And then we say if, oh, those are brackets. Those are brackets. That's the bracket count. I finally got the bracket count. Bracket count 1. Okay. So I'm pretty sure, right? Right? This is Python-esque. There's no brackets for an if statement. Okay, so if chicken moving, then do stuff. The direction is the target minus the position. Okay, so if we're moving, we get a direction which is going to be a vector is equal to chicken target minus chicken position. And we normalize that to get a pure direction. Okay, so we've got a direction and we move the distance. The issue here is, what if we overshoot where we're going? If position to distance target is greater than distance position, else position equals target. Oh, okay, good. Okay. Direction distance is equal to chicken's speed. So does chicken have a speed? Chicken has a target. Chicken has a variable for what she's holding, but we'll deal with that later. Has a walk speed of... What were we doing before? We were moving 100 pixels in half a second. So that'd be a walk speed of 200 pixels a second. Let's just drop that a little. So let's say walk speed is 150. And then this says distance is equal to chicken dot walk speed multiplied by the delta, which is how many seconds have passed since the last thing. And then we say if the distance to target so if the chicken's current position distance to no autocomplete there. We're gonna hope that works. Distance to chicken target is greater than the distance that we're going to move. So we won't make it there. Then we move there. Position is plus equal to direction multiplied by distance. Okay. So if we can't make it to the target, we move as far as we can towards the target. Else, the position equals the target. So this means we're not going to overshoot. And if our position is at the target, we then say chicken moving is now set to false. So we keep moving until we reach a target, and then when we get to the target, chicken moving is false, and then we should then emit a signal. I don't like this next line. Oh, maybe it's okay. Maybe it's okay. So if we've reached a target, then we send the next line. Emit the signal next line. Okay, and when we emit the signal next line, we process another line. Which means that the move chicken thing here, so target coordinate position 0, target coordinate X there. So this is calculating the coordinates of the target tile. And the target tile location is there. Chicken's target gets set to that. And then we set chicken moving. Yeah. And that might be the only thing we have to do, because after we set the chicken moving, then the process will do all this stuff until chicken finishes moving. Let's see if that works. It did not. Oh, It didn't for a very simple reason. There's meant to be a colon, nothing else. Oh, yes, you can't save that because you're currently running. Okay, save that. Okay, something didn't work. Invalid operands nil and vector 2 in operator minus. Chicken target is null. I have to set the chicken target. Did I not set the chicken target? Target coord, target position, chicken dot target. Chicken dot target doesn't exist, does it? Or maybe it does and it shouldn't. Oh, I have 2 chicken targets. One in chicken and one in the script. That is bad. Let us not have that. Let us not have it in the script. Or that in the script. So anything that chicken should know about should be in the chicken thing. So walk speed, target, walk speed, moving. Okay. And so everything, the properties of the character will stay on the character, and this can access them, but not be owning them. So the control script doesn't own chicken's movement in a sense. It asks chicken if they're moving. So is chicken moving? Chicken's target versus their position. Yeah, this makes more sense, I think. Very funny. It's like old school object-oriented programming. Games is very, very object-oriented because the objects feel like they're literally physical. Okay, let's try that again. Oh, we are here. Move 1, move 4, and we're going at a steady speed, which is nice. Okay, let's go 2, 5, 3, 0, reset, and play through those. Go 1, go 4, go 2, go 5, go 3, and go back to 0. Beautiful. Nice. Okay, so we got a tile map. I think this is a good place to wrap this up. This is nice. I've saved that, yeah, because I was running it. Okay, let me go back to my document. after trolling UNSW. Okay, so we've got line execution, show which line is currently being animated. We add a tile map that has floor space and benchtop space, floor and benchtop tiles. Change chicken's movement to indices instead of directions. Animated chicken's movement to specific indices at a fixed speed. Sweet. I think we're at a good place here. So I've got it to the point where we have the ability to move to specific indexes, which means we can have chicken, say, access this index in the array and do something, rather than moving chicken around like a game character. So chicken's now moving around more like a program would if it was doing memory access. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. Pretty happy with where this is up to now. It's nearly at the point where if chicken can access memory locations with the go command, and then chicken can do a pick up and put down, as in read and write to memory, chicken becomes Turing complete at that point. It's not exactly, right? It's not perfectly Turing complete, but it is kind of. And then we can start actually doing gameplay and stuff like that. Next goals are pick up and put down objects, like reading, writing to memory. Chicken becomes Turing complete. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you for coming along. Not sure who's left. I think there's only one person left, but thank you for coming along. And I'll see you next week. I will be taking a break for a little while. I'm heading overseas for a bit, but I think next week I'm still on, and we'll do more of this stuff, and then I'll actually get to the point where I'll be like, okay, here's the challenge, and here's the question you're asking people to solve, and stuff like that. And we'll get the prototype going a little bit further. I'm just gonna keep sort of extending this prototype for a little while, get some nice stuff going for it. Okay, see you all soon, and thank you for coming along.